My name is Brandon Reinhardt. I'm a developer at Valve Software. At Valve, we don't really have like titles or positions like other companies. We're defined by whatever hat we happen to be wearing that day. I do design and programming. I work on Team Fortress 2. I also worked on Left 4 Dead. But I also have a background in massively multiplayer game development. And so, you know, at Valve, I'm interested in mixing MMO mechanics with shooter mechanics and things like that for future projects or who knows what. So, thank you for attending the first of 3 debates that will take place over the course of this week. The debates are a unique experiment. I've never been really happy with panels. I feel that panels tend to be unfocused, they're easily derailed, and they're very unstructured. So you have 4 guys up here, the moderator asks them questions, and they kind of spend however much time they want to address the questions. And you don't really get a sense of direction, and you never really dig very deep into any particular topic. So the purpose of the debate is to try to create a competitive, structured environment where 2 specialists on a particular topic can really dig deep, get into the topic, and maybe uncover a few layers that you wouldn't normally find in your typical panel. While you attend this particular debate, you may feel yourself on one or the other side of the topic already when you come in. The only thing I would ask you is try to put yourself in the perspective of the opposition just for this debate. I think you'll realize that nothing scary happens to your brain when you consider the problem from the other side. The point of the debate is not to crystallize a position you already hold, but to get you to look at a position from both sides and hopefully open your mind a little bit about what your company or what your project isn't doing, but it could be doing. So this particular debate is on the secondary market. By secondary market, what we mean specifically is the trade of virtual property, characters, goods, swords, that kind of stuff. I read recently that in China alone, the virtual trade in online goods is something like $5 billion a year. That's just in China. And it's a market that's pretty large in the United States and in Europe as well, throughout the world. So a lot of questions surround this market that the industry has never really been able to answer very well. For first-party developers, it's largely how do we get involved in this, how do we get a bigger slice, while at the same time mitigating the effects that secondary market has on our game experience. If you look at a company like CCP, the operators of EVE Online, they found a way to actually get involved in the trade of virtual currency in their game and make a portion of the money by using the medium of exchange, the game time cards that they sell. So in order to sell money in that game, you basically buy those game time cards, and CCP makes money as a result. On the other hand, at Blizzard, they're essentially fighting this war against gold farmers to attempt to stop the market in its tracks. And in fact, if you look outside, a lot of the sponsors of this conference are involved in stopping online fraud. And the amount of online fraud in World of Warcraft is just ridiculous. I have a family member who works in billing, and I hear the stories, and I'm sure you've read stories online, where you hear about cases like people saying that if you had a choice to steal someone's World of Warcraft account or their bank account, you're better off stealing their World of Warcraft account because there's more likely to be like actual value that you can get out of it. And it's an exaggeration, but at the same time, there's a nugget of truth there. So Blizzard is fighting this rearguard action to try to protect their gameplay and stop the sales. So clearly there's some negative impact. And on the other hand, you've got companies like CCP that have found a way to maximize that market. So today's debate and all the debates this week will center on a resolution. A resolution is sort of a statement of policy or intent. It's meant to be divisive. Essentially, the resolution is saying the industry should do something. And you should either agree or disagree with that. And the job of the debaters will be to support or negate that resolution. So for today, the resolution is the secondary market in virtual goods is a vital part of the game industry and should be supported. Speaking in affirmation of that resolution is Martin Perdina. Martin, go ahead and stand up. Martin is the CEO of FatFugu. FatFugu is a company that builds tools to monetize online games. He enables companies to get involved in the secondary market by utilizing virtual currencies, getting involved in player-to-player transactions, and so forth. Speaking against the resolution is Jeffrey Zackin, who's president and COO of the Electronic Entertainment Design Research. His company is a business intelligence company that helps developers make informed decisions about their projects and their production processes. In addition, Jeffrey is one of the original designers of EverQuest, so he has first-hand experience with the kind of impact that the secondary market can have on online games. So gentlemen, take your seats. So I will be keeping time. and you probably won't see me much through the course of the rest of the debate. The first speaker will be Martin, speaking in Affirmation. Each speaker will present a constructive speech. However, each speech will have a period of cross-examination. And then after that, we'll have rebuttals and closing statements. So, Martin, if you...
Alright, that's an interesting experiment to me. So, it's actually my first debate. But I've learned a lot from my US colleagues over the last few days. And John is going to be my first victim, and cool. Alright, let's just quickly elaborate the rough topic. So secondary markets, Brent mentioned that it's all about virtual assets, and this is what the focus should be today. But when you think of secondary markets, it's actually a much broader topic. There are different use cases, and I just would like to briefly elaborate on those so that you get a better picture what the solutions are out there in the market, and what problems are out there, and what the solutions are. And hopefully better make you understand why secondary market is such an important proposition, that why they should be supported, and why game publishers should actually invest in making this a legitimate and successful business for them and for all the other players in this ecosystem. So the most straightforward place in this secondary market space is what you just know as the auction house in games like World of Warcraft, in games like Lord of the Rings, Guild Wars, EverQuest, whatever. So the typical trading of virtual goods in a game, embedded in a game, it's almost like a gameplay element. And the core of this discussion should be this kind of auction house, because it's almost like a gameplay element, right? The second thing, getting closer to, I think, what the controversiality comes about already, is some kind of outside game secondary market. Something you probably know from EverQuest 2, where you have like a web-based store, this runs outside of the game, but still having a game integration, still being legitimized, still being supported by the game manufacturer, and mainly dealing with real money trading here. So this is the second type of secondary market. The third type here, it's also outside of the game. Think of it like Gravity does it here in the States with Ragnarok Online, being outside of the game, but however, being not closely integrated. So this is already the first aspect where the kind of lack of integration between the trading environment and between the game could cause some issues on quite a few fronts. And then of course, there's the fourth topic on secondary markets, what we all know is the gold farming. Pretty much a illegitimate open secondary market, mostly just around eBay or around gold farming sites, and just almost trying to exploit this kind of virtual IP and this virtual asset trading here. From a demand perspective, so you have mentioned like 5 billion in China. This also includes like publisher-to-player trading. When we think of player-to-player trading only, this is typically a 2 billion market. So actually not really disappointed about 2 billion because this is pretty big actually. So and why is there such a huge demand in this space? Number one, typically if you have a successful game economy, you have different perceived values of virtual items. So meaning in some role-play game, as a hunter, you like to have a bow and an arrow, whereas it's a dwarf, you just cannot use that. So therefore, if you're a dwarf and have your bow and arrow, it makes sense to sell this stuff on the secondary market. The second aspect, and this is really important, is the time and budget ratio. So yes, there is the target group of hardcore players, like students, like unemployed people, who have loads of time to like spend time in the game, and they have time to really earn coins, really earn virtual goods, and earn virtual property. But the typical World of Warcraft player is like, I think, 29 years old, and is well educated, has a good job, and has like a time budget of around 3-4 hours per week. And so therefore his motivation is mainly to maximize his enjoyment in the game and to maximize the excitement in the game in these 3-4 hours he has per week. And so why not buying stuff from the other players who have just acquired them due to their extended time budget. And the third piece is just the fun piece. So just trading stuff is just fun. And yeah, eBay is one piece.